guys, this is Psy-Frame. I'm coming to you with a brand new deck profile this week, and this week we're doing kind of a weird one. I nicknamed it the Shia BAF Turbo, BAF being an acronym for Lightsworn, Burning Abyss, Fluffle, and this deck is pretty interesting. It's essentially a turbo style deck just to get out Judgment Dragon as fast as humanly possible. That, of course, because it is a mill deck, it doesn't always happen, which is unfortunate, but it's very hard to brick, in my opinion, with this deck. It is possible. I've done it, like, once, but, like, it's very difficult, because by turn 2, you should easily have a Judgment Dragon, so if you don't get it by your first turn, you should get it by your second, and I'll do, like, a little bit of, like, a test hand at the end of the video, just to show you guys how to do it. So, for the Lightsworns, of course, playing the big guy, double JD. He is the centerpiece of the deck, so of course, playing him. I don't want to play 3 because 3 can be a little much, but sometimes I feel like 3 might be might be necessary. It's just I have sometimes trouble finding room with the third. 3 Raiden, double Lila. It's pretty standard Lightsworn stuff right here. Double Lumina. Lumina is probably my favorite. Unfortunately, I just can't play 3 of her because discarding out of the hand can be sometimes not good. It's just because of the cost, really. They're only playing 2. But Lumina's my favorite in the deck, just because it helps. Lumina's probably one of the better monsters, just to get all the combos off. And then we're playing a series of one-offs for Lightsworns: 1 Garoth, 1 Minerva, 1 Shire, and 1 Arcus. These are essentially just more names for the deck. Shire is really the one, or Minerva. These two are really the ones that I use the most because I can rank 3 with them, and rank 3 is very, very important for this deck, as you'll see when I get to the extra deck. But that's really important for the engine, so that's why I'm playing that. For Fluffles, I'm playing 3 Wing and 3 Bear. There have been a lot of times where I do resolve 3 Wings, so having 3 Wings is definitely useful. You could technically cut it down to 2. And it would still work. I just prefer 3 Wing because it makes it a little bit more consistent. And it's not like it's not the end of the world if you draw into it. Like especially if Illumina, it's discard fodder, so why not? And then I'm also playing 1 Edge Imp Sabers. This is actually really important. It's really important for stacking the deck for cards you want to go into the grave. I only play 1 because again it eats out of the hand, but Edge Imp Sabers is one of the more important cards of the deck because it, again, allows you to rank 3, which is really, really important for the deck. And again, it allows you to stack. And then for the Burning Abyss, we're playing, of course, the 1 Tour Guide because Burning Abyss just likes Tour Guide. 1 Skarm, 1 Libic, and 1 Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Now, yes, this is very minimal on the Burning Abyss, and that's because of their side effect where, like, you special if they're on the field with anything other than a Burning Abyss monster or Fiendish Rhino Warrior, then they go to the grave, which is unfortunate. So that's why I'm only playing these 2. Libic can special summon either like Skarm, Rhino Warrior, or Edge Imp Sabers from the hand when he sends the graveyard, which is good. And then Skarm searches out everything else. Rhino Warrior sends things to the graveyard, so you can send these 3. You have 3 different targets for Rhino Warrior, so that's good. And then Tour Guide can special summon out any of these and then rank 3 with them. So I'm very happy with this. You could honestly take out the Libic for another Skarm. It's just up to you. This is just what I've settled on. I've done a lot of testing with this deck to see how it works. And then to round things off for just minor support, I play 1 Trick Clown because you can rank 4 and it's good for synchros as well. And then 1 Electromagnetic Turtle. This could be another Trick Clown. I played both. I just prefer this because this deck lacks a lot in defense. So, Turtle is very useful for just stalling for a turn, and then, like, you can set it, you can discard it. It's good either way, so it's just good. Then for the spells, the most important spell of the deck, which is Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor is by far the best spell. It can get you a mill. You get to discard the cards from your hand, which can benefit you. You can discard Wings, you can discard any of the Burning Abyss. You can discard any of the Lightsworns and help you get out JD. So, Toy Vendor is very useful. It mills. You can special summon out, like, a bear to help you rank 3. So that's not always bad. The worst thing you want to, like, see off the draw of Toy Vendor is Fluffle Wings. Don't really want to special summon that, so because it's just a dead card on the field. So, That's the worst possible scenario, but I've never, honestly, through all my testing, it's never happened to me. And then you get to draw 2 off of Fluffle Wings with this card, and then also get to search for another bear. So that's really good. Then for more spells, I'm also playing double Charge the Light Brigade. Again, it searches, and then 1 Solar Recharge. Only 1 because I only have room for 1. Double Galaxy Cyclone because if it's milled, it's not a big problem. You can still pop stuff. 1 Rhoda, just to search out Raiden, because Raiden can be very, very useful. So why not? 1 Foolish Burial, because you can tutor anything. And then for traps, I am playing 3 Breakthrough Skill, and then the 1 Solemn Warning. Breakthrough Skill obviously being a little more useful because it's still active in the grave. Solemn Warning is not the best card to mill, but whatever, it's still pretty useful, so that's why. So with that being said, let us move into the extra deck. Okay, so for the extra deck, every single one of these cards is actually very important, with the exception of like 1 or 2, and I'll explain those as to why I'm only playing like certain numbers, etc. Obviously, we're playing one Michael. He's a Lightsworn, so it's more fodder for the graveyard. And then he's just in general very useful. 1 Yazi is good for stall. He can't be targeted, so that's really useful for that. 1 Omega. Omega is extremely useful in this deck because he allows you to recycle cards from the Banish Zone if you can't get a Wings engraved, or for some odd reason like one of your Lightsworns is banished and you're like 1 Lightsworn away from getting out the JD. He comes in very clutch for that. He also allows you to recycle Breakthrough Skills and Galaxy Cyclones, so that's good as well. 1 Trish, because it's very easy to get this out. All you need is, let's see here, you really only need a Lumina, a Minerva, and like any other level 3 monster in the deck, which is not hard whatsoever. I make this quite a bit, so it's pretty cool. 1 Leo, probably going to the least, not being like he's very hard to get rid of. These are just like backup boss monsters in case JD gets it's gone. And then Star Eater, the easiest synchro by far to get out on the field. The fact that he can't his summon can't be negated, and then he gets free attacks is pretty cool. And then the Xyz monsters, which are inherently much more important. Double Dante, this could be bumped up to 3. There have been scenarios where I need 3, but I only have 2. So 2 Dante is definitely the minimum that you need. Just simply because the second one can recycle the other one. They get controlled mill, which I can't stress is extremely important in this deck. Being able to go into like just mill however many you need. 1 Grand Pulse. For more back row destruction, if you wanted to, you could take it out for the Dante. 1 Leviair, because filling up your field is very useful. You can recycle the bears and use them as rank 3 fodder. Double Downard, because it's just, you can like put this on top of Dante and then it'll be just fine, so that's cool. And then for rank 4s, which I don't go into that often, 1 Castell, 1 Cowboy, and 1 Trapeze Magician. Very easy to go in with this if you get like a Lila on the field and a Trick Clown. It's a Performance Trapeze Magician, and then you can, it actually works really well with JD. You can blow up the field. Basically the combo would be you get a JD on the field with like a Trick Clown or something, and then you blow up the field, recycle the Trick Clown back onto the field, use like a Lila, and then rank 4 to a Trapeze Magician, activate Trapeze Magician's effect to make JD attack twice, and that's game. So it's very useful in helping with the OTK and just speeding up the process just a little bit. So yeah, so with that being said, let's go into the test hand part of this video. Okay, so before I go into the test hand part, I just want to make this clear. This is not a competitive deck. This is more along the lines of like a tier 2 deck. Something fun to bring to locals if you have the cards. This can be very expensive. The Dantes go for like 15 to 25 at the moment, and Omega's a $30 to $40 card as well. So it's not like the cheapest deck to build, but if you have the cards laying around, play it around with it. It's actually really fun to play with, and so yeah, let's go into test hand. So we're gonna pretend like we're going second here because that's the preferred option. Getting more cards in hand is a lot better. Cool. So we opened up a toy vendor, which is really, really good. Draw first, and that will actually, like if you get toy vendor and tour guide, that's actually really, really good. So I'm just going to use the Galaxy Cycle and pretend that my opponent has a some back row. Pop the back row because you don't want to deal with that. Activate the toy vendor. Activate toy vendor's effect. You're going to want to obviously discard the wings. Look at the top card. Breakthrough, whatever that goes engraved, that's whatever. So now you have that engraved, and then you normal summon the tour guide. Activate tour guide's effect. Hopefully it doesn't get hit or anything, and then you're going to want to go for Fiendish Rhino Warrior in this. So the reason why is, I'll explain why, is because Libic's still in the deck. So hopefully we don't mill it off the Dante, which is what I'm going to be going into first. So as I just said, we're going to go for the Dante play. Dante effect, send the Rhino Warrior, and we're going to mill 3. Okay, we sent the Bear, which is really good actually. And then we are going to activate the Rhino Warrior effect. And we are going to send Libic. So we get to special summon Skarm from the hand. His effects are negated by Libic's effect, so that's why he's still on the field regardless. Like, he'll stay on the field no matter what. Next, we are going to, let's see here. Yeah. So next we're going to activate the let's see here. Fluffle Wings effect along with Bear. We're going to banish both of those, get the draw, the wings, that's whatever, send the toy vendor to the graveyard, and then we get another draw, and we get a search as well for Bear. So as you can see, we still have 4 cards in hand, a lot of stuff is going down, and the deck is already like close to being halfway through. So next step, you're going to activate Bear, send him to the graveyard. You're going to search out a toy vendor. Toy vendor is going to go down to, cards are going everywhere. Toy vendor is going to go down to face down on the field, and then we're going to activate it because there is no clause that you can't like activate more than 1 toy vendor per turn. We're going to ditch the wings to set up for next turn, and then we're going to mill the top card. Breakthrough skill, that's whatever. So, yeah. So, at that point, you would probably just attack with the Dante, and then just keep this in defense mode, because 2000 attack is pretty decent. More than likely, you're going to get Skarm. More than likely, Skarm is going to go to the graveyard. We're just going to assume things go, like, right. Skarm, like, they're going to get rid of Skarm. That's whatever, and then Skarm effect would end, like activate as well. So I believe it's during either end phase, correct? Yeah. So Skarm is going to go to the graveyard. We're just going to assume that's happening because obviously the opponent wants to get rid of monsters on the field. We're going to add the Savers to the hand through that. More than likely, Dante's going to go as well. You don't really have to add anything, but if you want to, actually preferably, you're going to want to add Libic. As well through that. So we're going to assume the worst comes to worst. If field gets destroyed, your turn comes around. Okay, so the 3 Lightsworns in hand are really kind of dead cards, which is a shame. But still got Toy Vendor. You're going to discard the Libic in this scenario. And then you're going to send Toy Vendor, which is not good. That's not the best thing in the world. But regardless, you're still going to get that search. In which case, you're Bear probably. Bear is probably going to be the better one, just simply because of the fact that it's a level 3, and you can still use it for rank 3s if you so want to. So, Libic's effect will activate. Going to get out the Sabers onto the field through Libic's effect, and then as well, you're going to banish the wings and the Bear to get the draw. Pop the Toy Vendor. to get another draw. You can search just to feed cards out of your hand if you really wanted to. So, I mean, yeah, you can search the wings. It's just a dead card that you can use for, like, discard fodder or whatnot. And as you guys can see, like, I'll just lay out the graveyard really quick. We have not hit a single Judgment Dragon whatsoever, which is actually really good. Typically, by now, I hit one. Okay, so at this point, we have a level 3 on the field. And then we are going to summon the Arcus or the Shire. It doesn't really matter. It's just a level 3 Lightsworn monster. Get out the Dante. Dante's effect will activate. You're going to want to send the Saber so you can use it for next turn. And then you're going to mill 3. Okay, still have not hit a Judgment Dragon. So basically, as you guys can tell, this is going to be a mill deck. We're not going to hit the Judgment Dragons, it looks like, for a while. Yeah, they're in the dead center of the deck. So it's just, basically, the deck keeps going until you hit them. I believe we are very close to having, yeah, we have 2 Lightsworns in the grave, well, 1 Lightsworn of the name in the grave, and we got 1 under it as well. So that's really counting as 2. And you got 2 more in the hand that you can use for rank 3s, which is actually really useful because you can send, like, you can activate the Sabers the next turn, use Shire for level 3, more than likely you're going to mill stuff as well, so it's just, you just keep going until you hit that Judgment Dragon, which is very, very easy. So, and by that time, you're only going to have, like, a couple cards in deck, so you really got to win at that point. So, that's really how the deck functions. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, guys, have a nice day.